Alright, so I finally finished the setup. This is a 2018 Infinity Q50 non-Bose edition. So everyone knows you run the power cable through here. There's a grommet under here. Can't see it without the cover off, but you just cut through the rubber, run the power cable through. Put my fuse right there. Comes through the glove box. I ran it down here through this kick panel all the way back. I actually ran it with the speaker wire, and I'm getting no whining or anything like that. So I didn't want to go through the Molex here, so I just did this. It's a little ghetto looking, but it's okay for now. I'll fix it later. The door is sound deadened with some Scar MLV. Pretty cheap on Amazon. Sorry, the car's a little dirty right now. Very dirty. But obviously I'm not gonna take this off. I mounted the crossover about right here. It's a Rockford T2652 components, 100 watts. So I ran it under here, under the seat. These are my grounds over here. I just sanded down the paint. Everything's soldered. Running to the distribution block. I'll show you the amps later, how I mounted them. The hardest part about this was definitely the power cord and the speaker wire. That's easy, but it was doing everything behind the head unit. So this all comes off. You can find videos on YouTube how to take it off. So the cup holder first, then this piece. I think you have to put it in neutral, so I did. Obviously disconnect the battery before you do any of this. Even moving RCA cables, you don't want to mess around. So when this comes off, there's a lot of plugs behind here. It's a little intimidating at first. So I would suggest taking pictures so you know which ones go to which, but most of them are color coded, so you'll be all right. But when this all comes off, there's a pin behind here. It's a 20 pin. And you can find the chart online for the non-Bose, and it is actually accurate in terms of which wires to tap into. Let's go over to the driver's side. I ran the 9 wire through the driver's side. So the 9 wires behind here, I have to tuck it a little better. But it's coming down here with the speaker wire through the kick panel. But everything behind the radio is soldered, and you want to make sure you have good connections over here and you don't mess anything up, because you don't want to take this apart again. You might break some clips. All right, let's go to the back. So I had to use a powered line out converter. I have a lc7i from Audio Control. So my 9 wires coming from here. This is going directly from the head unit. Oh, and I forgot to mention the power. I ran off of the cigarette lighter power, which is a yellow and black wire, and it's pretty obvious. You'll see it. It's a little white plug with the yellow and black wire. So the 9 wires here, I used one of the wires in the 9 wire to run the power for the lc7i and the digital sound processor, DQDX. And I do suggest getting a digital sound processor for this car. It makes a huge difference in the sound quality. You can actually turn this one off and on and see the difference, and it's massive. So here's my power cable. I ran it here with a 15 amp fuse. And then that's split, and it powers this too. So the nice thing about these is it has a remote turn on from the lc7i and the digital sound processor. So I use that remote turn on to power both these amps. So this is a P300x2. I had an older Polk Audio 4-channel, but I got this 2-channel because I'm only running the front speakers. And I actually last night turned off the back speakers, the stock ones, and it sounds way better. So all my RCAs, I have some Scar interconnect ones. They're all right, not the greatest, but cheap and they look nice. So I ran these through here. Everything's Tesla wrapped and soldered at the connections. I ran the grounds for the DSP and the line out converter over here to the other side. But setting this up was kind of complicated. You kind of have to do a lot of research on it, but the main thing is just getting this 9-wire correct. All right, let's go over the other side again. And this is the JL RD500. I had it in the last car. And this is the 12-inch P3. I wanted to get everything Rockford to try to match everything. One thing to mention, everyone talks about the active noise control. And I unplugged the brown plug from here and the one in the back. And I was getting some serious whining still. So I just went ahead and unplugged this one. There's a plug at the back here. Just unplug the whole thing. Bluetooth works fine. There's a little more feedback, so the person you're talking to on the phone can kind of hear themselves talking, but it is what it is. This sub, I have to find a better way to mount it down to my trunk right now. I just have some double-sided tape. Because if you accelerate too fast, it does kind of go crazy in there. Might disconnect the wires while you're driving. Oh yes, everything definitely suggests some soundproofing, sound deadening. Everything's wrapped in Scar. And over down here in the well, it's actually double wrapped with some thicker stuff too. But yeah, no vibrations. It sounds pretty good. Well, yeah, I couldn't really find any resources online on how to hook up a non-Bose system. Everyone has the Bose. But it was a challenge. It took about 20 hours. Well, you know, I'm an amateur, so. But yeah, good luck, everyone.